we can dive in because this is where we're going to spend most of our time in news. Why don't we dive into the big news story of the week, which is, as we predicted, and I think we predicted it. We definitely predicted it before E3.
Yeah, it can't. We've talked about it a bunch. Like it's just something that's going to happen, kind of a thing.
It was more of a when is it going to happen than if it is going to happen, at least in my opinion. But the Game Pass changes and price hikes are hitting. So we have all of the details of that. We did have some emails. I'm going to read those first because we did have write-ins on it. And I'll say people aren't happy about it. So
shocker.
People are not happy about it. And we'll get into that. Bob from Oak Park, Michigan. Hey guys, what do you all think about this Game Pass price hike? Seems like it's only natural after acquiring ABK this was going to happen. What gets me though is the day one exclusion. I don't have Game Pass Ultimate, just the console version because I don't have a gaming PC. But now with that change, it's forcing me to move upwards to Ultimate if I want to continue to play day one releases. What a joke. To me, this is as bad as Amazon taking ad-free streaming away and charging an extra $2.99 a month for something you already had. It's a punishment. It's making me reconsider Game Pass and Xbox altogether. Then the other email we got, this one comes from Kurt from Cincinnati, Ohio. Hey guys, boy, it really seems like Microsoft was riding high for the last month only to once again stumble. Kyle's analogy of stepping on a rake is perfect. This Game Pass stuff is wild. Changing that day one release rule to a specific tier just convolutes their already mixed messaging. This company can just not catch a break. So they're changing the pricing structure. That part of it to me, I don't think is that huge of a deal. It's $3 more
it was bound
for
to
Ultimate.
Happen.
And I would say this is the price for Call of Duty.
The Activision money has to be made up somewhere, and that's where they're going to start with it.
That's the part of it I look at and I go, okay, I understand that portion of this. And the thing, I'll be frank, is like, as someone who has had Game Pass since day one when it was announced, when it came out, I've never paid monthly for it. There's if you just take 5 minutes and do a little internet research, there's ways to get around that. Now, I will say they are changing that again, which is important to note. So right now, you can stack up to 36 months of time. As of September 12th, when these changes go into effect, it'll be 13 months. So they're slashing that more than in half.
Yep.
The other weird one, and I put this in here, this came out today. This is a weird one because I do know people that do this, and this does suck, but it seems like they, at least from some of the wording they changed, they're going to be removing the option for people to redeem rewards points for Game Pass time, which is a bummer.
I get it because there's probably a way in there to,
if you earn enough points, you're just you're never paying.
You're never paying for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I kind of get that. I think they want it to be actual like revenue they bring in and not rewards or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. But, and I'll say, like, I have till September 12th. I got to find a deal. I'm sure there'll be one beforehand where I can stack it as much as I can, and then I'm good the rest of this, foreseeably probably this generation.
Probably.
And then we'll see what happens next generation. But the part of this that is stupid to me is changing the day one thing, because now you look at how are they going to handle these trailers going forward? They're going to have to change the wording.
It'll just say, instead of play day one on Game Pass, it'll say play day one on Game Pass Ultimate at the end. That's all it's going to change. But
it's dumb.
It's a bad look to come out last month and say Call of Duty's on Game Pass day one, and then this month. Well, only if you pay more.
If they would have reversed these
should have done the other way around.
They should have announced this beforehand, because then I think a lot of people, I still think it's crummy, and I think people would be pissed. I think it would have been taken a lot better to go, okay, I understand why. They should have announced it
before their showcase.
Their showcase.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the showcase could have been, this is day one with Game Pass. The other thing about it is I don't like how it doesn't set timelines, because all it says is that the game may come to Game Pass standard. It might.
Yeah.
What if Black Ops 6 never does? Doesn't
Exactly.
That's
happen.
the thing too. It's like, okay, so then what of these games, like Perfect Dark, like, you know, whenever that comes out, any of them that are day one, what does that mean?
But
So-
but they're not even saying it's going to be 3 months, 6 months, a year. It's just it
Right.
might. We don't know. It might not ever. Call of Duty probably won't. Right?
I don't think so. I think well, here's what I think. I think it does, but I think they hold on to that the longest.
Yeah.
I think it's a kind of thing where it's like 9 months or something, where it's like, okay, the next Call of Duty is going to be coming out in 2 months. We're
here's
putting this
the
into-
one.
Yeah, so if you want to play it, here you go, to entice people to go, oh, this Call of Duty is pretty good. Maybe I should move up to Ultimate since the new one's coming out. That's
Yeah.
what I think they probably do. I don't think they lock it completely.
Some games are going to be. I would
some
bet
games
you some
are
games
for
are going to
sure.
be, for sure.
Some games will be
But
for
like
sure.
think about like, you know, Gears E-Day. That's not coming to that. Fable's not coming to that. Avowed's not coming to that. You're going to get the back library of stuff you've probably already played through. Because that's the thing, is like, who is this for? This isn't for people who are currently subscribed to it.
No.
They probably played the stuff on there they wanted to. The reason they're subscribed to it is they want to play the new stuff that comes out.
Yeah.
And now, oops, you got to pay.
I gotta pay. And I'm trying to remember, because isn't it like, it was 10, I think 10 or 11 for like the console version or PC version a la carte, and now it's 15.
I think so. The thing is,
something like that.
it's too confusing as it is already, and now they're just making it worse. They separate out console and PC. Like, it's all just a mess. Like,
Yeah.
why can't it,
It
just
almost
be?
it almost might have been easier to just say, hey, you know what, we're thinking about just doing this one tier. So, or 2 tiers. You have your core one, and then you have ultimate,
Right.
just to make it more simplistic.
And
But again, I mean, I understand there are people that are only going to have it for PC, and there are people that are only going to have it for Xbox. But at the same time, when you have one tier that caters to both of those,
right.
makes more sense just to make that the one tier,
Right.
Yeah.
and then have obviously your core one, because there are those people that, you know, don't care about having the latest and greatest. They just want to be able to play online. So, which is what that tier is for. So, since there's no more Xbox Live Gold. So, I don't know. It's just, again, like I said, and exactly it was even pointed out in the email, like, it's like we get a good thing, another rake we step
We
on.
talked about it last time. Like, is Xbox finally on the right track to doing it? And then this comes out, and it's to be expected, and it was going to happen no matter what. But it's done incorrectly again.
Yeah.
I will give a little credit. At least it's like 1.5 to 2 months before it happens.
Right. Doesn't happen.
Where it's not like Sony were like, hey, in 2 weeks, this is all going up $20. Sorry. And then dead radio silence,
Mhm.
like, because it's going to happen. I also don't see Microsoft backing down on any of this
No.
this time, though.
It's
No.
too.
I really don't.
It's not big enough of a change for them to be like, oh no, kind of a thing. It's just they're going to leave it. It is what it is, and
For sure.
it is what it is. You know, like they're not going to.
Yeah.
There's no reason for them to back down. People are going to pay for it or not.
Pretty much.
And with Call of Duty, people are going to pay for it. And if they don't, then people will just buy Call of Duty and they win either way.
It will be very interesting to see. I don't know if we'll get numbers because now Microsoft owns them. They don't like giving out numbers, but I'll be very interested to see, like, what are the numbers for Call of Duty this year versus where it's sold. What platform is it doing better on?
I think they would brag about it. If the numbers give them a reason to, they'll happily give out the numbers for a Call of Duty because they own it.
I think the numbers you'll get is concurrent players and stuff like that. I don't think you'll get sales numbers.
No. Yeah, you're right.
I think it'll be
Players
like,
makes more
hey,
sense.
we've had our largest launch ever on Xbox Live for Call of Duty Black Ops. I keep forgetting this is Black Ops 6.
Yeah.
So, like,
Did you see really quick?
I do love that craziness.
Really quick, did you see the kind of funny thing about the Black Ops 6?
No.
This came up on my Instagram, and it was I laughed my ass off because they're, you know, we're not the smartest people in the world either, but it just proves that like Greg Miller and his buddies are dumbasses too.
Okay.
Because I forget who it was Greg and somebody else, and the guy goes, aside from Final Fantasy, has a gaming franchise ever made it to number 6?
Oh,
and then Greg's like, yeah, and then he's like, and then the other guy's like, man, I really can't think of one. And since it was live streamed, the chat immediately gets bombed with, here's all of these fucking games that have gone to 6, you idiots. The first one guy a deep poll goes Dynasty Warriors, and they go, oh yeah,
Gosh.
and then the guy goes like Tekken, Street Fighter, Soul
First
Calibur.
one that came to my mind was Yakuza.
Yeah, Yakuza, Romance of the Three Kingdoms is on like 13. Yeah, like yeah, games make it to 6. It's like just like what a dumbass.
It's just weird though for Call of Duty. Like I don't think they called the last Black Ops 5.
They didn't.
I think it wasn't at the Cold War.
Yeah.
So like it's just weird, and that they're going with it.
Right.
It's not a working title. It's just here's the 6th one. Who cares anymore?